Hello everybody, I am the Traveler and welcome back to the Winds of Change. So here we are right outside of Peregrino. We've talked to Ulrich, we've seen Ulrich and our friend talk, and we've seen this deal, so I think all that's left is to actually just go into Peregrino. The tavern looks old, but well taken care of. If it wasn't given frequent care, it would be dilapidated. The love given to this place by the owner clearly shines through. It's a lot taller than I thought it'd be. But it doubles as a sort of hotel. I'm assuming the topmost floors are private rooms. Oh really? That's cool. Maybe we can rest here before we leave. If we have time, perhaps we can. It might be nice to explore this place in person. I've read about it and heard lots of stories. What kind of stories? If they're all true, you'll see for yourself. I imagine I have to actually go to the map thing. So like I said, we'll see in this episode. I'm thinking probably that where the voice acting stopped is as far as they've gotten with the voice acting. But then again, this part could just not be voice acted. Peregrino. Wait. I'm assuming in the dark this helps people find Peregrino. However, right now it seems to have no real purpose. To come here during the day, you'd have to know exactly where it is. I'm sure glad we had Zamir here to guide us. Without him, I'm pretty sure we'd have gotten lost. Let's not think about that, alright? I'm just thankful we have such great friends. They're all risking a lot for us, you know? True, but honestly, we're risking even more. When this is all over, we could go down in history. It makes sense that they'd want to be remembered too. Remembered? Do you mean like they're helping us for glory? I like to think that they were just being nice. Or is this how people worked? You really think Zamir did this for free? He must be receiving some kind of payment. Aren't we going on this journey for free? There's no promise of fame or money or glory. But the possibility can be even more appealing. Either way, any help we can get is good. No need to dig into people's motives for less. Wasn't that just what you were doing? You're the one that did it, though. Okay, yes, thank you. Okay, so what? Oh, there's an arrow. When we enter Peregrino, we're greeted to an argument. Normally I look around the tavern, but this seemed pretty heated. The barkeep, angry, seems to yell at an annoyed man in front of him. Absolutely not. There's no way. Take that letter back to Damek in pieces. I'm not giving up my beloved Peregrino Pro. It would seem that he's talking to Pro, the man we came here to meet. For some reason, I find him extremely familiar. I can't pinpoint why. Iron, you don't want to test me. This is for the good of Alestia. Don't be selfish. He wouldn't act outside of our best interests. If you don't agree, he'll cut your funding. You wouldn't be able to keep up. You'd go out of business. This isn't exactly the best place for a watering hole, you know. The barkeep must be named Iron. He seems to be on the receiving end of Pro's threats. I'll make do. I have to. This place is my home. I'm not even asking you to move. You just have to let Damek do what he wants. Zamir is off to the side, watching as well, drink in hand. I exchange glances with Valessa and Fatam, who seem a little startled. It seems like this is escalating quickly. What should I do? Let's just watch. I decide to sit back and watch the events unfold. As see it as it seemed, I doubt it would escalate to violence. And since I'm standing back, even if it did, I'd remain safe. You mean turn this place into a barracks? It's been serving the rebellion just fine as it is. A neutral meeting ground. That's what you all wanted. Right now we want something different. Valinor needs a line of defense in the future. An army placed here could keep the entire village safe. You know Valinor will be resettled in the future. Do you want them to sit there, ready for slaughtering? Look me in the eye and tell me your tavern is worth those lives. I don't know. There must be a way to work. There must be a way to make this work. We don't have the time to spare. We're about to go to war if you didn't know. Decisions like this need to be made. But Poe cuts him off before he can continue, and looks me in the eye. Hey, Kairos, give us your input. Without an elder, you're in charge of Iron. Oh shit. This place still falls under Valinor's jurisdiction. Or do you not know the secret of Peregrino? The secret of Peregrino? What does he mean? I look at Valessin for Tam. They shrug. He must have recognized me from the blade on my back. Back when your elder formed a treaty with Mazeo? Well, it's not like they trusted each other immediately. Both sides were scared of walking into a trap. So what was the best thing to do? Meet each other halfway. That's right, this place was built for secret rebellion meetings. But things are changing. Valinor deserves an army to protect it. It seems like the rebellion wants Valinor to be resettled as well. That puts me at ease. I was worried they might throw it away like nothing. All the patrons look pretty happy here, but Valinor could benefit. There's such a rhythmic chopping. Or knocking. Whatever that is. All the patrons look pretty happy here, but Valinor could benefit from an army. I think about the secret he just told me. It sort of makes sense. A tavern in the middle of the forest isn't the best place to run a business. Darmok must be lining Iron's pockets to serve the rebellion's needs. Don't tell me you're considering this, Kairos. Talk about putting me on the spot. I hope this isn't a frequent event. I didn't feel like this is my choice, but due to the current circumstances, it is. Malus resigned as the elder, leaving me in charge until I elect a replacement. That reminds me, I'd still have to choose between Valessin and Fortan. However, it's probably best to take things one step at a time. First, Peregrino. I take a pose that implies I'm in deep thought, but truly I'm at a loss for words. Think about it logically for a second. If this was a barracks, Valinor would be safe. We'd fight off the triumvirate forces for you. It may be too late now, but we can plan for the future. Darmok is requesting this of Iron, but you can order it. He'll be expecting answers as soon as you arrive at Mazeo. Carl seems to know a lot more than I initially thought. He has a point, Kairos. Technically, you're in charge of an entire nation. Ah, shit. And if it sounds like I'm putting pressure on you, I am. Well, thanks. We have a lot to do. We can't waste time over secret fights. Help them resolve this so we can talk about important stuff. This is all happening so quickly. I can't even find the time to think. It feels surreal. Almost like I'm in a dream or a vision. But it's real. Any attempt at collecting my thoughts goes on to be promptly interrupted. There's no reason to turn this place into a barracks, though. If you win this war, Alessia will be safe and peaceful. Darmok is being hasty. He's not thinking straight. Kairos, I beg of you, don't take my home away from me. Everyone stares at me, expecting me to make a decision. Their watchful gaze fills me with anxiety, and I tense up. Maybe I should ask for advice before making a decision. Advice is always good. Ulrich. Look, I already told you to hurry up. There's no downside to placing an army here. Iron is just being whiny and resistant to change. You have the chance to prove yourself as a capable leader. Don't cave under his demands and give him what he wants. An effective leader does what's best for everybody. Think about Alestia when you make a choice, not Iron. That advice will help you every time you need to make a decision. Catering to individual people is a great way to garner hate. Makes a good point. Valessa. Whoa, you actually want my input on this? I guess it is my duty to assist you, but I'm surprised. I'm only supposed to guide you when it comes to visions. Hey, you want to be the next fucking elder, so tell me what you'd do. If I had to choose, I'd keep this place the way it is. Of course you would. You want to keep Valinor the way it is too. After the war, Valinor and the rest of the world would be safe. Why would we train an army after we've taken down the Triumvirate? If I were the Elder, I'd commit myself to maintaining our independence. That means living outside of conflict, like we've been doing for millennia. Siding with the rebellion and putting an army here will tie us to future wars. Until today, even you were raised in an independent Valinor. I can understand a temporary alliance, but we should go back to normal. I honestly think it's kind of an insulting idea. We can take care of ourselves. Okay, Fortan, you. It's an interesting situation to say the least, but that doesn't mean the right decision is hard to make. We should ally with rebellion and place an army here. If our elder had done that, then Valinor would be fine. In my opinion, we need to work towards a united Alestia. That would have saved us this time. It can save us in the future. Either way, I know you also need to choose a new elder. If you already have someone in mind, then try to cater to them. It's important that they're left with a nation they'll be proud to lead. Also a good point, because whatever choice I make here also affects whoever I ultimately choose to be the elder. And obviously it's not going to be me. But whatever I choose also affects the future of Valinor and of Alestia. I think so, either convert Peregrino into a barracks, which will put an army here, which will protect Valinor from future disasters. Even if we defeat the Triumvirate, there is still the possibility of a pirate army that we'd have to face next. Who's to say that they won't rise up against us and try to attack Peregrino? I tend to agree with Fortem that we should move towards a more united Alestia. But fucking, what's her name? I just saw it and I forgot already. She has a good point in the whole deforestation thing. We could potentially lose more of the forest. I don't need your updates right now. Go away, Creative Studio, Creative Cloud, whatever. Thinking about the future, I would convert into a barracks, because who's to say what will happen after we defeat the Triumvirate? Someone else could take up their position. Someone else could be the next great threat to Alestia, and the next great threat to Valinor. So, if Valinor does not have protection, if Valinor tries to continue to be independent, who's to say that that couldn't just lead to its ruin a second time, a third time, a fourth time? Might or mirth? Okay. I couldn't leave Valinor defenseless in the future. I had to do everything I could to prevent future attacks. My first order as acting elder was to militarize Peregrino. I thought you'd be smarter, Kairos. Stealing people's homes? no better than the Triumvirate. I hope you understand what kind of image this gives off. I'm not going to argue with you, out of respect. Bellenorth has been my home for ages, and I love the people. Looks like we're both losing our homes, with no say in the matter. He crosses his arms and walks off, ensuring I feel guilty. Was that really it? Was my word considered law? I don't think I fully grasped the extent of my power yet. Aaron's immediate surrender implies that he was bluffing earlier, or at the very least, he was all talk, trying to intimidate Pro. Speaking of Pro, he turns to me and gives me a wide smile. Thank you so much. Without you, that would have gone on forever. Ulrich was right. We have other things to tend to. He walks over to a nearby table, high-fiving Ulrich along the way. The large man looks at me and nods, signaling his approval. But after that, he walks toward the table as well. Time for a meeting? I wave to Valessin for Tam as I walk over to the table. A few moments later, we're all seated together, exchanging glances. We wait for someone to break the silence, unsure of what will happen next. Ulrich? Pro? I thought you might find yourself here. Damek must know about the new plans, then. He assumed you were slacking off. Now that I'm here, I guess it's half true. Don't worry, I had it planned all along. You can doubt me, but everything worked out. Here we are, all together, and ready to plan. I need to get all of you back to Damek as fast as possible. We need to make some moves and plan our final attack. He looks at me, and then at the blade on my back. You'll be training under a pretty strict regimen. Damek wants you to master that blade as fast as you can. If you aren't already aware, a new spirit idol was found in Mazeo. Damek thinks we can use you and that blade to tap into its power. He thinks it will give us more of a chance to win this war. Wait, a new spirit idol? I didn't know that could happen. I thought we had all of them mapped out for a long time. I'll assume your studying abilities are limited in Bellenorth, but the occupation was just a cover for the Triumvirate's true goal. They are looking for the spirit idol so they could destroy it? Whoa, hold on. Why would they want to do that? We don't know, but that's why Damek wants it first. There's a possibility that it possesses a threat to their reign. Legend has it, they destroyed Alarinthia's idol as well. Wait, Alarinthia's idol was destroyed? It was so long ago that they almost never had one. That's why it turned into the arid wasteland it's become. Kind of like how Bellenorth will freeze over, potentially. So Damek wants to use this new spirit idol for power. Isn't that risky? Does he even know what will happen? Nope. This has never been done before, unless of course you are talking about your friend here. He stares directly at me. He must be talking about my power. It was gifted directly to me. It was gifted to me directly from Bellenorth's now dim spirit idol. You mean he wants to use the power on people? As far as I know, yeah. It could give an army just the push it needs. There's even a chance it could turn them into seers. An army of seers? Oh, do you realize how crazy that sounds? I can't believe Damek would want to do that. Hey, I'm just theorizing. We have no idea what will actually happen. We just know one thing. The Triumvirate wants it destroyed. And that means they don't want anyone else to have it. So there must be something we can use it for, right? We think that this is part of your destiny, Kairos. My destiny? It's not a coincidence that all of this happened at once. We find the idol just as you realize your potential. Perhaps that's the potential we need to be using. Basically, it's going to happen like this. We'll get to Mazeo and Damek will start your training. When you feel comfortable enough, we'll bring you to the idol. You'll use your power to tap into it and empower our army. Then you'll help Damek lead our final assault on Voltaeus. will take down the Triumvirate in their own home. Wow. He really has it planned out, huh? Yeah, smooth sailing once we get to Mazeo, but I think it would be too dangerous to leave right now. It's almost nighttime. We should rest and leave in the morning. I agree. I made good time on my journey over here. We'll still be on schedule, even if we stop to rest. Spirits know I need it, after the long trek I just took. Resting does sound pretty good right now. It's been such a hectic day, I'm overwhelmed. Yeah, and it'll give us time to discuss other matters. Oh, Jesus. I'm down to rest, Ulrich. Just point us in the right direction. Not so fast. Let's hang out for a bit first. It's still early enough that we can have plenty of fun. Go look around. I won't be too far behind, alright? Oh, sure. Blessed for time leave the table and start looking around. That's what I would have done, were it not for the earlier argument. Ulrich and Pearl look at me, and let out deep sighs. I'm gonna go grab a drink. Kairos, when you're ready, take any room you want. We'll head to the Outlook at dawn, and journey down to Mazeo. He gets up and walks away, leaving me alone with Pearl. Look, I'm sure you're processing a lot all at once, but you're not alone. We're about to go to war. I'm overwhelmed too, and so is Ulrich. He might not show it, but I'm sure he's scared. There's never been a battle like this before. All we can do is play with the hand we've been dealt. The handsome swindler. Damn it, human. Pearl has now permanently joined your party. I'll see you around, alright? Watching everybody drink is making me thirsty. If you miss me, you'll know where to find me. He leaves the table and goes to grab a drink. All I can do is hang out for a while, and then go to sleep. Maybe I could talk to Pearl for some more information too. Whatever I did though, this would be my final night in Valennorth. Click the arrow in the top right corner to advance the story. Otherwise, feel free to explore Peregrino at your leisure. Is that a thing I can click on? This party banter is affected by your choice to turn Peregrino into barracks. Okay. So, this one continues the story, so we don't want to do that just yet. Alright, so let's talk with Pearl first. Hey. So how'd you come to join the rebellion? I joined shortly after the occupation. The previous leader recruited me. It seems that children with revenge on their minds were in both high demand and supply. I grew up with Dominic and a bunch of other kids our age. They trained us all in war. Ulrich joined a little bit after. He's older and was already trained. As you could have guessed, I lost my family during the occupation. A common tale as of late, but we're finally ready to take on the Triumvirate. We'll take back the future they stole. What can you tell me about Dominic? He's a really nice guy, and we've shared a lot of the same struggles. There's no one else I'd rather march into battle with. I mean it. His tactics, his strategy, it's really something else. Watching him on the war table is nothing short of an honor. I can't wait to get an interview with the guy. His story needs to be told. After this all blows over, I'm sure he'll go down in history as a hero. Do you think he's a capable leader? Did you not hear what I just said? I mean, of course he is. He's the best. Not only capable, exceeding expectation. What are his plans when he arrived in Mazeo aside from what's already been said? He's been obsessed with these underground tunnels lately. He wants our headquarters to be hidden and well guarded. I think he's trying to strike a deal with the mayor of Mazeo. That means the mayor is defecting from the Triumvirate. That's good. We have a huge advantage as long as that secret isn't leaked. But there's something else he's been talking about as well. In the same tunnels he wants to claim, he discovered a spirit item, a massive one, flowing with unfathomable amounts of energy. I think he wants to tap into it with that blade and use that power. You're living proof that owls can empower people, right? If we could do that to our army, we'd be almost unstoppable. Do you think we'll take down the Triumvirate? With the right strategy and that special blade? Of course! I'm just glad that Damek is the best strategist I've ever seen. Then there's you. I'm not so sure about you. Yet. Hey. With the right training, I think you'll be fine. So that's what we'll do when we get to Museum. Train. And no complaining about the hours, the fate of Alessia is at stake. I guess. Right? What can you tell me about yourself? Well, I'm a bit of a gambler. I love to take risks and have them pay off. Aside from that, I like to write. I fancy myself an author, I guess. After this war, maybe I'll get to focus on that a little bit more. What kind of stuff do you like to write? Non-fiction, mostly. I like to chronicle the stories of important people. So, and this is just an example, with yourself and Damek, you'll go down in history, but you need to be real, not legend. Like I said, I hope to write more stuff when this war is over. I don't exactly have much time to myself, even on the best of days. It's hard for the other rebels to find time too. I need to eavesdrop. You really think you can chronicle everything? Chronicle everything? Not everything. I'd be a fool to try that. Just the important stuff. If that's what I aim for, I'm sure I can get it all. Maybe. I just want to make sure that people's stories are told. Important figures usually become exaggerated legends. I only want to ground them in reality, you know? That way, history remembers who they really were. Do the rebels seem to mind your spying? Of course not. I mean, they never see me, so they can't be mad. But I'm not being creepy or anything, just listening in here and there. It'd be a lot easier to do it on your headquarters though. Wait till you see it. Any juicy secrets or interesting facts about the rebels? Nothing I can tell you. An author never spills his secrets. If someone else can tell my stories, then what's the point? I take these to the grave, or at least until I publish them. Okay. Do you have any other hobbies? I like to cook. Actually, I like it a lot. I'm always in the kitchen. I have to take it easy though. I used to eat way too much. I was fat. But that's almost a lifetime ago. It only took some practice and self-control. Real self-control and exercise. I'm always on the move. Aside from that, I like to go to the theater. Plays are great nowadays. That's pretty much it. I'm not the most exciting person, to be honest. Are you down to exercise together sometime? Absolutely. It's so hard to find a workout partner these days. Unless your idea of a workout is using practice swords. I prefer using daggers and my fists. I focus on agility. The enemy can't hurt you if you kill them first, right? At least that's what I like to tell myself. I seem useful in combat. I've never had any complaints, and Damek usually asks for my help. Can you recommend some good place? This one I really love. It's called A Tragedy in Valteus. The hero works with both the good guys and the bad guys. The good guys find out and they kill him in cold blood. It turns out he was good all along. He was just using the bad guys. The hasty choice causes them to lose, and the bad guys kill them all. It's really tragic and ironic. Everything a good story needs. Is there an active theater in Brazil? Yeah, there really is. There's a huge theater, but it's tucked away. Most people never see it, since it's right in the middle of the marketplace. But there's a loyal following, and there's always something new to watch. I'd love to be a playwright, but I don't think that's my calling. I think I'm better off letting the masters tell their stories. Tell me more about your plans after this war. I'm not sure, actually. Maybe I'll focus on my writing career. But I'd need to retire somewhere nice and free of distraction. Missouri is just so busy. It's hard to focus on anything. Maybe I'll find something special and bring them along. This is all up someone special and bring them along. This is all up in the air, of course. A lot could change. I probably shouldn't plan it out. I'll play it by ear. Are you seeing anybody right now? Oh my. Are you asking for yourself? Either way, the answer is no. I haven't had the time for that. Love and war don't mix together, unless the formula is a tragedy. This is true. Any recommendations for what I should do after? Whatever you feel like doing, you'll be free and capable of anything. Far be it for me to tell you how to live your life. Do your thing. How many places you'd like to retire to? I'd say Valinor, but I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe Balteus, if I can get used to the cold. It seems quiet there. When the Triumvirate is taken down, we can settle there for once. Okay. I'm gonna do a quick save real quick. I'm going to assume I'm gonna play these, and if they don't have voice acting, I'm gonna assume that's as far as they've gotten with the voice acting. Like I said, this is like I've said multiple times, this is early access, so not everything is where it should be. So we looked at the sea, taking in every detail of the near infinite expanse. Still processing the earlier revelations, he gritted his teeth, annoyed. Why did the Triumvirate wait so long to tell him these secrets? Master, are you okay? Of course. It is again, that dismissive tone. I can tell when something is wrong, you know. There's no need to lie, I'm your apprentice. It's nothing, Halen. I think it has to do with what happened earlier. The Triumvirate told you something, didn't they? You're not taking it well. I could tell the entire time. Very perceptive. Leave me alone. Survey, you're acting like a child. He lets out a deep sigh as his apprentice hounds him for information. It is true. It was true, but Survey didn't want to admit it. He was too prideful. Please tell me. I want to help you, Survey. I stand by your side no matter what. Are you sure about that, Halen? Of course. You don't have to tell me what they said, Survey, but at least tell me what you're feeling. Survey took note of Halen's sudden empathy. It was abnormal, and somewhat unwelcome. What had changed in the last few hours? They told me something I wasn't ready to hear. I'm sorry I forgot about you, and I'm sorry for being cross. My thoughts are muddled, Halen, and I'm confused. How do you plan to deal with that? For the first time in a while, I don't know. My purpose was always clear, my resolve unwavering. I'm trying to feel like my previous master before my promotion. You never did tell me what happened to him. No, I didn't. Very well. At least tell me about this purpose of yours. I fight to ensure the reign of the Triumvirate, our gods. A very clear purpose and noble to some. For me, things have always been a bit different. I fight to ensure the reign of Alestia's true rulers. Then what's the issue, Master? It would seem that we share the same purpose. Survey sighed again and slumped his shoulders slightly. Until now, everything had been an act to intimidate Shane. Halen could tell that Survey was displaying his true emotions. Normally, I would agree with you, but now I'm not so sure. Interesting. And Gris. See, even right here, the arrow things, the circular arrow things, those aren't showing up either. So those haven't been put in, or they were forgotten, or just aren't showing up. After arranging everything with Damek, Gris returned to his office. He had a lot to do, working with both the Rebellion and the Triumvirate. I'm seeing a parallel here to a certain play that was just mentioned. Though his true allegiance was with the rebels, he had to keep up appearances. That meant trying to strike an allegiance with the most unexpected of factions. No, Alex, you have it all wrong. I only want you to pretend that you're helping the Triumvirate. When the time comes, you'll turn on them and help Damek instead. You know Nada will never let this happen, right? I don't care what she thinks, I'm asking you. I have no doubt in my mind a battle is coming to Mazeo. The Triumvirate will send their forces here for that new idol. I don't know what they want with it, but we need to strike immediately. You'll meet them at the docks and tell them you've been hired to assist. As soon as you get the chance, you'll sabotage the ships and kill them all. That is, except for one ship. Damek will need one to launch his attack on Baltius. Alright, I'll humor you for a moment. Even if I play along and your rebellion comes to rule Alestia, they'll lift the trade bans, effectively ruining piracy for good. Why should I fight to kill my own profession? There are much better things to do in this world, Alex. I could pay you with anything you wanted, or any job you wanted. Just name it and I'll make it happen. These are dire times, you know. I doubt this offer extends to the rest of our crew. I'd love a reward and a new job, but not if it screws them over. They'll be doing the bulk of the fighting, not me or Nada. That is, if it can even convince them to do this. One of our core tenets is that we don't take sides. Even when the victor is clear? Even so, during the occupation we fought for our own survival. Both the Triumvirate and the citizens of Mazera attacked us. We worked for decades to unite the pirates into what they are today. Doing this will split them apart again. You'll make an enemy out of Nada. She's pretty much the leader, and her influence is immeasurable. I'm well aware of that, and I've taken it into consideration. A divide in your numbers will still give me the right amount of men. You can show the rest of the pirates they're on the wrong side of this. And if a divide that comes, I'm sure we can mend it. Besides, Damek hasn't said he's going to harm piracy. I'm sure we can come to some sort of deal, Alex. No matter what the deal is, you can't win over everybody. As soon as the Triumvirate falls, you'll have another war lined up. Hell, they might even join the White Cloaks out of spite. I'm willing to take the risk, but I'll do my best to make sure they're satisfied. There will be a peace for everyone in our new Alestia. The pirates are in a great position to make demands. As the mayor of Mazeo, I can give you anything you want. There's no way Nada could turn down an offer like that. Very well, let's talk terms. Making deals with pirates, so that we avoid the pirate war that is inevitable at this point. I want to see this. Can you believe Damek's nerve? Don't worry, he knows what he's doing. He wouldn't act outside of Alestia's best interest. Whatever he's planning, I trust him. Even if it means losing my tavern? I can't change my outlook. Sorry. Alright. At least you can relate to me a little. Without Velanorth, your job is gone too. Yeah. Looks like we'll both be unemployed. Maybe we could look for a new job together. We're all going to Mazeo, right? It's the closest place to go. But I think the pirates have the monopoly on that place. You think the new Rebel HQ will have a tavern at all? Beats me. But I know Mazeo has one. When we get there, how about we scout it out? Start looking in your comfort zone and then branch out. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks, Samira. You're a good guy. I hope you can find a new job as well. I might ask Damek if he has any openings. I don't need money, just food and a place to live. He's offering that to everyone from Balanoth. I guess he really is a nice guy. But he's taking Peregrino away from me. It's hard to side with someone like that, you know? I understand. Don't worry, everything will work out. We'll need more barkeeps when this is all over. Really? Yeah, of course. Imagine the celebrations when we win. This isn't permanent. You'll be fine. Oh, it's in a bit, okay? Hey, you were working with Kairos? Yeah, something like that. It lasted all of a couple hours. What do you think about him? Ah, you're asking about me? I honestly have no idea. It's hard to believe that our fate rests upon one person. I don't think I could put my faith in somebody that way. Why not? It's a big gamble, isn't it? Too risky. Yeah, but faith is all about risk. You believe in spite of overwhelming odds. You fight, even when everything tells you to stop. You don't have to agree, but it's true. Without faith, the rebellion wouldn't even be here. Unless it would remain under the Triumvirate's grasp forever. You have a point, Ulrich. It's impressive that you've come this far. And we still have a long way to go. But we won't get there if people don't believe. Have a little faith in us, alright, Simeon? Well, I can't say no to that. Just don't let me down, alright? When we make it through this, I'm buying drinks. Oh, you mean you aren't buying right now? And here I was, buttering you up for nothing. Oh, hey, Zamira. It's good to see you again. I was starting to worry you might... Oh, come on now. There's no need to worry about me. I'd worry about Valinor. There's no more gate guard. Oh yeah, I guess that was your job. I'm glad to see that you got everything done. Did you happen to touch that sword by any chance? Absolutely not. I kept it under wraps the entire time. We put it in the Grand Tree for safekeeping. Good idea. I'm just really curious. Damek was able to use it, however, briefly. And not only that, but he had a vision too. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Didn't you guys find a new spirit out of the museo? Yeah, I think he wants to harness it for power. I didn't stop to ask, but it's all he talks about now. Well, isn't it inside your HQ? Yeah, now that you mention it. Didn't Damek frequent those underground tunnels? Maybe he was exposed to some level of spiritual energy. At least enough to let him have a vision or something. I don't think that's how it works. It's a possibility. At least give me that much. That blade challenges all of our understandings. Alright, your theory has merit. It's really odd, but it makes sense. Can you even imagine if it was true? Maybe that's why Damek wants to harness his power, giving regular people visions? He'd have an army of seers. There's no way the Triumvirate could fight against that. Whoa. Hey, how'd you learn about all this stuff anyway? I overheard a few things, that's all. No one is leaking intel or anything. Good. We can't have any moles. The rebellion, as it is, currently hangs on threads. It's only thanks to that anomalous blade that we stand a chance. Yeah. Hopefully. Apparently there's no books here either, so I guess that's all that I can do for now. Go ahead and save here. Corruption. 10. What? Wait, what? Did that decision add to corruption? God damn it, I said I wasn't gonna do that. And I just saved. Are you kidding me? That added to corruption? So, I was supposed to let him keep it to stay with purity, I guess. God damn it. Now I want to go back and unchange that. Because I said I wasn't going to do anything that would lead to corruption. Well, I haven't gotten that far. I could. I've already saved. Hold on. I... I'm kind of upset about that. But... Is that why it's a red fist thing? Ulrich and... Oh. Ulrich and... Pro agreed with me. It was only... Ulrich Pro and for time agreed. It was only Valessa and the owner who dissented. How is that? How is this corruption? I don't understand. But I think this one time, I'm gonna leave it because I think I did the right thing, even if the game thinks that it's corruption. I think that I am acting in Valenort's best interest for its future. So I'm going to accept this tend to corruption and hopefully focus only on purity hopefully only get purity for the rest of the game. But I think I made the right decision, regardless of what the game says. Regardless of what the corruption total thinks. Maybe it was something else that gave me corruption, I don't know. But I think I made the right decision for Valenort's future. As such, I'm going to continue from this point. I make my way toward one of the private rooms. It's time to get some rest. It's been a long day and the subsequent days show no sign of changing pace. This new life would simply be the nature of things. Everything was different. I let that settle in for a while. It'd be almost impossible to sleep as things stood. All of our lives were flipped around in an instant. Not only that, but put in danger too. There's no guarantee that any of us would survive this, if we didn't have a choice but to fight. At least I didn't. Regardless of my feelings, I couldn't turn back on Alestia. Couldn't turn my back on Alestia. If I did that, I'd be saying my own life. I'd be saying my own life was more important than our entire world. I thought that was a typo. I'm talking about the rest of the sentence. No matter how hard I tried, there's no way I could convince myself that was true. I sit on the edge of the bed and let out a loud sigh as I lay back. I don't get much rest before I'm shaken wide awake. The door to my room slowly opens. It's Valessa for 10. It seems they've disregarded both my privacy and desire to sleep. Ah, Jesus. I rise up to greet them, unsure of what to say. I wonder if this is more like the sarcastic route. Because that's what I normally do. Like, this game is kind of like Dragon Age and Mass Effect, in which you get to choose based on an emotion or a type of conversation thing. I'd normally go down the sarcastic route. But I already said that I was going to go down this loving route instead from the start as much as I could, so good. But that doesn't sound like something I'd say. Seeing as I was actually trying to sleep, I'm going to go with this one, having trouble falling asleep too. And then the next one. Yeah, that's the long and short of it. Fortem and I have been talking for a while. There's something we need to discuss. Now. Oh jeez, what is it? They both came to the same conclusion. This isn't an order, it's more of a polite demand. So it's an order. Kairos, you need to choose the next... God damn it, I knew it. Kairos, you need to choose the next Elder of Valinor. You have a lot on your plate. You can't handle everything responsibly. Valinor's future requires nothing but the utmost care and attention. We can't expect you to lead Valinor and train with that blade. Are you actually going to make me do this now? It's exactly like she said. Listen, I know this may seem sudden to you, but we've been talking about it for a while now. We wouldn't feel comfortable leaving Peregrino without a new elder. Someone needs to plot Valinor's future and make choices along the way. Considering you'll be busy with rebellion, we want you to elect one of us. Melissa nods and smiles. I can tell they're both dead serious. Let us carry this burden, Kairos. Please. I rubbed the fatigue out of my eyes and stared at them for a few moments. It seemed that lately, people had a tendency of putting me on the spot. The intentions were pure, however, to stop them from being overwhelmed. To stop me from being overwhelmed. Any effort to alleviate the pressure shouldn't go unnoticed. I crossed my arms and continued to stare at them. They looked concerned. This is almost like an intervention. I doubt they'll leave without results. Did we say something wrong? Look, he has no idea what to say. And I thought we made our case pretty clear. Look, we're the best two candidates, Kairos. You should make your choice before the night is over. We can talk about it a little more if you'd like. It'd be best if this wasn't a hasty choice, right? Let's think things through, like a team. There goes that rest we wanted to have. Looks like I'll have to get more comfortable. She makes her way to the back of the room and sits on the chest. It seems uncomfortable even for a makeshift chair, but she doesn't show it. Vertem yawns and rests his back against the windowsill, whistling innocently. So what do we talk about? I imagine they are definitely going to make me choose right this second, before the end of this episode, so I'm not even going to bother with that. For time, why do you want to be elder? Well, I'm actually a fan of what Milos and his father have done. Valinor has spent more than enough time being independent. We need to band together. We'll be strong enough to face any threat. Valessa wants to maintain our independence. We can't have that. How long until we're attacked again? The Triumvirate isn't our last enemy. And when that time comes, I want to have allies. We need to be strong. I actually support your decision to turn this place into a barracks. We need to have protection in our future. It'd be stupid not to. Damek has the right idea. I'm starting to dig the guy. Is that all? Valessa, why do you want to be elder? Even though we've already been over this like 3 times, I think. Because Milos and his father have given up Valinor's soul. We need to stand apart. Our culture and our line of seers, they're special. Valinor was and always should be independent. It's just fact. Whatever comes our way, we can handle it on our own. That's the way it's been for thousands and thousands of years. This is only happening because we stoke the Triumvirate's ire. That won't happen again, and Vertam can't see that. He wants to unite with the rest of Alestia and give up our identity. Why waste all of our resources preparing for something that won't happen? And to that end, why did you want to convert this place into a barracks? I think it's kind of beautiful on its own. It adds to our sense of culture. Turning it into a military operation we'll never use? I don't get it. Any other questions? I think Vertam has the right of it. Because who's to say that somewhere down the line, after we're all gone, something like this isn't just going to happen again? Who's to say that Valinor will be losing its identity by uniting with the rest of the world? It can still maintain its identity and unite with the rest of the world. and still have its protection. I'm gonna do this just in case I don't have to choose right now. Like we said, ruling Valinor requires a lot of attention. Quite frankly, we don't think you have enough to spare. You're definitely right about that. Not with Rebellion and that blade in the mix, at least. We just want to help you. For example, that choice about Peregrino, you could have left it to us instead of stressing out about it. Doesn't it make more sense to do that in the future? That way, it won't interfere with your training. You need to give that blade all of your effort. Yeah, and we really are the best two candidates. There's no need to worry about making the wrong choice here. I'm sure that both of us would lead Valinor to a great future. But first things first, we need to reconnect with the spirits. There's no point settling down uncondemned land. We'll have to ensure our future before we plan it out. Yeah, he's right. Anything else? Yeah, I can just imagine, like, I'm in the middle of training, and I'm just, like, there, cross swords, and then someone comes in and is like, Seer, we need you to make this huge decision about Valinor's future. Like, I'm in the middle of a sword battle right now, but we need the decision now. God damn. Okay. No need to talk further, I've made up my mind. They both audibly gulp, anticipating my decision. This was it. I had to decide the direction of Valinor's future. It would be either Fortem's unity or Valesta's independence. Well, what is it? This choice will change Alessia's future. Please think this through. I am going to save over this one because this one I won't ever touch. That way I can come back to this point and see a different outcome. So I will never ever touch this save. This is the save where I choose the Elder of Valinor and change the future of Alessia. Now, because I agree more with Fortem, and I agree more with unity rather than independence, I elect you, Fortem, as the Elder of Valinor. Valessa, don't hate me. Strength or identity, achievement unlocked. I choose Fortem. He's right. We needed unity and strength in the future. Teaming up with the other nations wasn't sacrificing our identity at all. Thank you! Valessa was wrong. It was simply turning a new page in our books. Time moves forward and things change. Valinor was isolated long enough. Perhaps it's that isolation that led to our downfall. We lacked strength. Under Fortem's lead, and with my blessing, we'd find that strength. Wow, really? This is like a dream come true. I can't believe this is actually happening. Yeah, that's a fact. Fortem in charge of our nation? You realize what that means, don't you? Yeah, it means we're finally a team. I won't just be tagging along anymore. The three of us are Valinor now. We can travel the world together, creating alliances. After we save Alessia, we can reconnect with the spirits too. We'll have a huge network of allies, ready to take on any challenge. I'm going to change history. This is insane. Thank you so much, I don't know what else to say. Well, I have a few things to say, but I think we need to get some sleep. She stands up and walks towards the door, but before she leaves, she turns back to face me. It appears that she's hesitant, unsure if she should speak. I'm upset. I can't deny that fact. But this won't change the way I treat either of you. I'm still your scribe, and I'm still Fortem's friend. I'll get over this. I've gotten over much worse. I can still help Valinor in my own way, right? In the end, maybe this is for the best. She walks out, without displaying much emotion at all. Was she hurt? I made the choice that I thought was most fitting. I guess I'd never know. I'll take her word for it. Things will be fine. This decision could never please both people, and I had to do it. Whatever ramifications came of this would be impossible to avoid. I turned back to Fortin, who looked extremely excited and in deep thought. When we get to Mazeo, I'll be Valenorth's envoy. Meeting Damek will be completely different. It'll be diplomatic in nature. We can discuss how to better utilize the bond between our nations. It's a good sign that he's already thinking about such things. This wasn't a light decision, and he'd have a lot of responsibilities. It changed the way he approached our entire journey from here on out. I guess I shouldn't be thinking out loud. Wouldn't be a good idea to give away my strategies. He winks at me and starts walking towards the door. But like Valesta did a moment earlier, he hesitates. Did he have something important to say before he left? Hey, I was actually wanting to ask, do you think I could stay in your room tonight? All this talk about attacks and stuff, it has me scared. I mean, I feel a little safer with friends nearby. I can sleep on the floor if you don't want me to bother you. You won't even know I'm here. I can promise you that. I am not having you sleep on the floor. No need to take the floor, you can sleep with me. Whoa, are you serious? Thanks. I didn't want to ask in case you weren't comfortable, but I can't turn down the comfort of a warm bed. He waits for me to get in the bed before he hops in. There's more than enough space for both of us to be comfortable. Before closing his eyes though, he turns to me and speaks softly. Thanks, Kairos. I would not have anyone sleep on the floor. It isn't much longer before we fall asleep. But much to my dismay, I'd get no rest that night. I'm assuming a vision's coming, but hold that thought. I wouldn't have anyone sleep on the floor. Friend, stranger, no. I'd sleep on the floor long before that would happen. For the fates had something else in store. I'm assuming a vision is coming. So I'm gonna save here. And I'm running out of time for this episode. So I'm gonna actually leave it here because I assume a vision's coming and something big is about to happen. And I don't want to have to cut it short or pause it. I want it to be the start of the next episode. So, with that being said, we did a lot in this episode, a lot more than I expected to. Definitely did not expect to have to make that decision so soon. I thought that would come like maybe, at the halfway point of the game where we defeated the Triumvirate, but oh look, here's this new big demon thing that we now have to fight, like Matilda's game. And we'd be in the process of rebuilding Valenorth, or reselling Valenorth at that point, and then I'd have to choose who the next leader would be. But no, I have to choose now. Yay. But I still think I made the right choice. Does the game think I made the right choice? No, the game thinks I made a corruptive choice. You know what? I think I made the right choice. And I can always go back and make different choices. So apparently, my choices are leading down the corruption path. I don't know how, I don't know why. Am I supposed to leave Valenorth independent? I'll see that in a different playthrough at some point. Who knows, I might have to restart this whole thing at some point when the next update comes or when the game is fully released. But for right now, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, hit that like button some love. The link to the game will be in the description below. It is $20. So if you want to play it for yourself and make separate choices compared to what I've done, I fully encourage that. And tell me what you think in the comments below about my choices. Do you think I'm making the right choice, or do you think that I'm making the wrong choice? I am going to maintain that I make the right choice, but I want to hear your output. I want to hear your input. I want to hear your input. But thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.